Welcome, everyone, to today's show. A boomer and a Gen Xer walk into a bar, coming to you not from the Rabbit Hole studio, but from the Rabbit Run studio, where you as our listeners will experience some wit and wisdom, some smart assery, and a mother and a daughter constantly questioning, are we even related? My name is Jane. My co-host is my daughter, Bobby. And I don't know, for the next 20, 25, maybe 30, I don't know how many minutes, we'll see what happens. We are here to entertain. Bobby, what's going on today?
Not a whole lot. A little rainy up here, but at least it's warm. You know,
Yeah.
In Iowa, you got to kind of, every time it's warm, it's either rainy or the wind is just blowing you all to hell. So you got to kind of take either one or the other.
So as we've explained in previous podcasts, Dr. Domain and I are down in Georgia. She's still up in Iowa. It is getting a lot nicer out. And I tell you what, we had a beautiful day today. So we're pretty happy. So anyway, hey, I had somebody mention to me about something about our previous one of our previous podcasts. And do you remember when I talked about how I said my nose was growing? My nose, not from lying. My nose was just getting wider and bigger. I went to lunch with this person yesterday, and she sat down and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just have to tell you, my nose is getting bigger too." And I couldn't believe that you brought this up on a podcast. So there you have it. Anyway, you have a guest in the studio today. Who do you have?
I have no idea. No, she's my counterpart, my cohort, my other half of the split DNA that we got. That is my sister.
Your sister.
My sister, who has some pretty cool skills that she's going to talk about.
She does have some skills, and I don't know where she got them because she didn't get them from me. So I don't have any skills, you know.
Oh no, you got plenty of skills. They're just not really useful skills.
Oh, damn!
Thanks, Bobby. I really appreciate it. So we have my daughter, Modesty, who is our guest today, and she goes by Mojo. I call her Mojo. Most of us do. But in the pool world, because she is a pool player, that's what she's going to talk about today. She goes by Dusti. So, Dusti, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. So we had talked about this a long time ago because you are a pool player, and not just a pool player, but you are also a league owner. Is that correct? Because I think that you run the show at one of the locations in Iowa.
Yep. I am a tournament director over at one of the best pool halls in the Midwest.
Okay, great. So
what makes it the best? That's what I want to know.
What does make it the best, Mojo?
I say you can name drop if you want. Go ahead, because
They have like chandeliers, and they come around with caviar.
I mean, do they give you gummies, or what's the scoop there? Why is it the best?
So the name of it is the Rack Billiard Club, and it is in Clive, Iowa, which is a suburb of Des Moines. We have it is fairly new. We've been open for about a year and a half now. We have 38 tables. 4 of those are valley tables. The rest are all diamond tables. And we have 6 9-foot tables, and one of them is a Rasson tournament table. We have amazing space, state-of-the-art TVs.
So
we have amazing food.
So you remember when I had talked to one of the bar owners down here in Georgia, and he was trying to get leagues together, and I contacted you. I said, he goes, I don't know who to help me with this. I don't know who to talk to. And so I wasn't exaggerating when I said, I think she runs like 40 tables or something. So you do run close to 40 tables, right, in tournaments?
Yes.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I'm going to ask you guys a little bit of history. Mojo, how long have you been playing pool?
This will be about 26 years, give or take.
26 years.
It's been longer than that because we used to play pool at Skate East when we were little kids, when we were supposed to be skating. We were hustling the pool tables.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, competitively, I've been playing for about 26 years.
So competitively, and so when you say competitively, that's not just in tournaments there in Iowa. You travel for these things, correct?
Yes.
And
I do travel.
So where have you been?
I have participated in tournaments in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and even in Las Vegas for World Nationals.
So the big one is in Las Vegas, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a couple of questions here because I was looking up the history of pool, and I'm going to see what you guys know as it relates to the history of pool.
Bring it on.
Yeah. So where do you think pool originated? What country do you think pool originated? No,
France.
What? Yes. How'd you know that? Did you know that, Mojo?
Well, because the terms for pool, like cue and stuff like that, are actually derived from French words.
I didn't know that. I had to look all this up. So it was an outdoor lawn game that was kind of similar to croquet, boring, evolving into an indoor table for royalty. So it was originally played with a stick called do you know what this stick was called, Mojo? I'm asking her. Don't jump in there, Bobby. Do you know?
Way to put me on the spot. I do not.
Okay. It was called a mace.
I do.
Oh, shush.
Let me answer.
Shush. Nobody wants to hear from you. Anyway, so 1400s to 1500s is when the game actually began over in Northern Europe and in France. And then in the 1600s, that's when the mace was changed to the name the cue. And players initially used the mace. It was kind of more like a club-like stick. And hey, I just want to stop on these sticks for just a minute, these cues, because I think people think that you just walk in, that these pool players who are you're not a professional pool player, correct, Modesty? You're actually a high-level amateur pool player, correct? And
yes.
So you guys don't just walk in and grab a pool cue off the wall when you start playing.
That is correct. We have our own equipment.
And tell us about that, because they're pretty expensive.
They can be, yeah. So normally you would have a case along with your chalk and possibly a cue holder. Your cues would consist of your shooting cue, a break cue, and a jump cue if you know how to jump. A glove if needed. I do not use a glove.
Do you use a jump stick?
Yes.
So you jump balls on the table? All right, keep going. Keep going.
So immature.
What else? What?
Come on, keep this. You're so immature when it comes to
I'm
this.
not. No, that wasn't supposed to be dirty. Usually Bobby jumps in on that one.
Well, I was going to say, she's one who taught me how to jump balls, her and a good friend of ours that played pool. So
it's like, what's the most expensive cue out there? Is it like something made out of like a walrus tusk or something? Or
a walrus tusk?
I thought he was going to say something about the walrus penis.
I did too. I thought it was going to be, is it a walrus penis that's been put in formaldehyde?
You've proven my point.
What are they made of, Mo?
Well, they're made out of different kinds of wood. The newer shafts can be considered kill wood or carbon fiber.
Okay.
Which I just switched to a carbon fiber this last year, even though I said I never would.
I know the most expensive one.
What's the most? Do you know, Mo? The most expensive pool cue out there? What is it, Bobby?
It's called the Intimidator, and it's made by McDermott Q, and it sells for $150,000 for the base price.
Holy crap!
Sounds about right.
There must be some good money in this pool playing. Maybe we should get into that, Dr. Domain. We're missing the boat here.
I mean, it takes almost $2,000 or 2,000 hours just to make this one pool cue. And I think it's got a 24 karat gold inlay.
Holy cow. Do you have a picture up, Bob? Is it cool?
I do not.
Oh. So we looked this stuff up in advance, Modesty. So we didn't
throwing me under the bus then.
Well, hey, you're the player. You're the works. You're the labor on this whole thing.
You guys just had to look this stuff up to sound smart, right?
No, we always look everything up.
Modesty. I'm not going to look any of this stuff up. I don't cheat like that. So what?
Gosh, usually he's using my phone to look up things like how much does a ton of meth cost, or what. It's like, gosh darn. but he uses my phone, not his phone. How many people have been found dead in Jane's backyard or something? I don't know, but anyway, go ahead, Dr. Domain.
Well, I've always wondered where, like, certain phrases that originated out of pool, is it more properly called billiards, or what? Like, what's the proper name for it?
Well, we do use the terminology billiards because a lot of people will mistake it for like swimming.
Oh,
And there's different types. There's different types of format.
we have a
When it
pool
comes to
tournament this
billiards.
Saturday, and everybody shows up in their swimsuit and rubber cap. Sorry about that, Mo. Anyway, keep going.
Well,
So
just-
you asked a question about
how do you
and
get?
threw me under the bus on what I knew. Sorry. Above me is the Rat Pack. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, I know who all of them are.
Tom
Tom Cruise,
and
Sammy Davis Jr.,
Junior.
Frank Sinatra. That other, oh gosh, I'm for a loss of words.
Yeah,
I'm,
Come on,
I'm
this-
looking.
This one's easy.
Is that not
big
Tony Curtis?
martini drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. That's
Dean
right.
Martin.
And then the other one is Steve. What was his name? His last name is
Humphrey
Steve.
Bogart.
Steve McQueen.
No. What's his name?
Paul
Mo?
Newman?
What's
Wait.
his name? That's not Paul
Who's in the
Newman.
picture?
Is that
Minnesota
Ronald
Fats.
Reagan?
Lawford.
Is that Ronald Reagan?
Peter Lawford. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Peter
Peter
Lawford.
Lawford.
Are they
Yeah.
really
I
playing,
can't.
or is
I
that
can
just
barely
like
see
some?
it.
Are they
think
really playing pool, or is it just standing around looking
It's
like?
a black and white picture. It's pretty cool.
I guess it must be real. It's black and white.
I don't know. It must be real. It's black and white, and Mojo has it. I don't know. It must be real.
I was wondering, like, there's certain phrases that come out of pool, and I always wondered what they meant. Like, you're gonna get blackballed. Like, is that originated out of billiards or something, or like getting behind the eight ball or something like that? Because you hear those
Blackballed,
phrases.
isn't that where like you get like
Isn't that a billiard term though?
That sounds
No,
like
I don't think so.
McCarthyism to me. That came out with McCarthyism, didn't it? Being blackballed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not around. It's not a term around here.
I got off topic. Sorry.
Okay. Well, so okay, we're going downhill
But
fast.
getting behind the eight ball, isn't that a phrase? Don't you hear that one?
yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that? Okay, well, I don't know. It sounds like a billiard
That's
thing.
when
to
your
me.
shot is behind the eight ball, and so it's almost an almost impossible shot because without hitting the eight ball into the pocket, you're behind
Ah.
the eight ball.
Oh, that makes sense.
I always thought it was like you're just getting behind.
That would kind of be the same thing, wouldn't it? What Bobby just
No,
said.
it means that there's something in your way. There's a difficult situation in your path.
Getting behind the eight
If a
ball.
ball's blocking you, you're hooked, or you could always say you're snookered.
You're snookered. So you have a league also, which means that you not only are a director for tournaments, but you also have a league that you schedule.
I'm currently just in the Des Moines area,
Okay.
but I am able to expand.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you this because I was kind of looking at the new trends in pool and the technology and the training that they're using. Have you ever heard of the use of augmented reality glasses and VR for pool? Because apparently that's new technology that they're using to help new players understand the game and understand the trajectories. Have you ever seen such a thing or heard of such a thing, Mo?
I have heard about them, but I have not seen any. I'd be interested to see what they're like. I mean, we have like projectors that come down onto the tables to work drills and learn angles. Not very many places have those. One of our pool halls in Des Moines, we have 3 pool halls. One of the pool halls has one on a table, but I have yet to see it.
That's kind of cool. So you'd see the leather.
Jesus.
Okay, maybe you'd see leather. I don't know, but you'd see the laser trajectory, so you know which way to shoot the ball, and then you know where to hit the cue ball.
Yeah, so it's one of those interactive projectors, so it comes straight down onto the table. So as you hit a ball, it's going to move with it. It teaches you what English to put on a ball to get the cue ball to pocket your ball and then get the cue ball to land in a certain spot which is called shape for your next ball.
So for some of our listeners who don't know anything about pool, what does English mean? Is that like a side spin?
English is anything outside of the center ball, so of the cue ball. So when I'm shooting a ball and I need the cue ball to travel down the table along with that ball to get, you can hit high, which is like 12 o'clock on the cue ball. That'll carry the ball further. If you hit it at 6 o'clock, you can draw it. And then if you hit it at 3 or 9, you get side English and it spins off of the ball. And then if you hit a rail, it spins it off the rail to help you get shape.
The jump cue, where do you have to hit the cue ball to get it to jump? Like at the
So you still line up your shot. Instead of hitting it level horizontal to the ground, you're going to come in at an angle.
Okay.
Now the angle that you're going to hit the cue ball at depends on how close of a jump you have to make. So like a 45-degree angle will jump it later and further down the table, whereas 75, 80-degree angle will jump the cue ball immediately for a short jump.
Tell us so you've won some tournaments, right? You and either you by yourself or you with your team. You guys have placed, and tell us what the highest level is that you've achieved.
In 2007, I went to Las Vegas to compete in what they called nationals then, VNEA nationals. I took first place in the sports women's event.
And how many, nice. How many competitors were there? How many people were you competing against?
I honestly cannot remember. That was 19 years ago.
See, Bobby, she can't remember stuff too. So get off my back.
I'm old though.
That's
Me
the
too.
Alzheimer's
Hello.
working through our generations.
Yeah, the old timers. But it was nationals, right? Wasn't it nationals? Yeah. So,
yes, and in the final match, I played against a girl from South Africa. I do remember that.
How cool is that? So you get people not only from the United States, and they come in from other countries. I did not know that. I guess I figured nationals is just national, you know.
Well, they switched the name to World now.
Oh, okay. And you still go out there every year?
Yes, I do. We still get them from, I think we had like 22 different countries last year that competed in the one that I was at last year. But yes, I go every year. I'm going again this year.
How did you learn to play pool? Who taught you to play pool? Was it just you guys dinking around at the roller skating rink? Or were you leaving the roller skating rink and going out and getting in trouble and getting into pool halls and I didn't know about it? Now is the time to confess, because
The statute of limitations is up.
Bobby tells me all the time, statute of limitations is up.
Okay. Yeah, I was sneaking into bars.
You were?
When I was a teenager. Yep. And
How old were you when you first started sneaking into bars? Modesty. I need to know.
13?
No,
14?
I think I was 14 or 15.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say it was right around then because, we would.
Were you with her? Because you were 5 years younger.
Okay. No.
God.
No, so I was the base. So, like, if you dropped us at the skating rink, I'd have to be the base and stay at the skating rink so that if parents showed up, I would be like, oh, she's here somewhere, and then go and find her type of thing. Hey, listen.
I'm appalled. I'm appalled.
Listen, Linda. That was 35 years ago.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm just shocked. So who actually taught you how to play pool? Because you had to. You can't just go in and say, I'm just going to, pick up a pool cue and I'm just going to play and that's going to be it. People had to direct you. A lot of people had to probably show you how to play properly. Who taught you? Who would you, maybe you can't think of one person, but who was the most, can I phone a friend?
Phone a friend.
Who was most influential?
Bobby, I don't remember who started me on that. Was that
So I know that we had a couple of uncles and a few cousins that we would play with, and that would show us, like, oh, look at this cool trick shot type of thing. But honestly, it was really a lot of strangers that would just come up and say, hey, let me show you how to hold your pool stick a little better. Hey, if you hit ball this way, it'll go into this pocket. Because I mean, you got to think, this was like the 80s and early 90s. Like, this wasn't like the stranger danger wasn't like it was.
Okay, so whatever, because I see you're heading down that path. So here I have a 14, 15-year-old daughter in a bar illegally, some strangers coming up saying, let me show you how to hold that pool cue, little girl.
Oh.
We used to have a pool hall called 63rd Street Billiards, and that's where I really started playing.
While you were underage, while you were 16, while you were 15, 16.
That's not my problem.
Did you ever get into a fight?
Yeah. Did you ever get into a fight?
Oh, nice.
What?
Hey, listen. We're not going to go down that path, because we plead the fifth on that one. I'm not saying that I ever took my roller skate off and defended my sister, but all I'm saying is sometimes people didn't like losing money to a 10, 12, 14-year-old.
Sometimes you got to throw fists, man.
And a female.
Yeah, and a female.
Oh,
I will say, though,
losing the females.
My personal, like, I learned a lot from like uncles and cousins, and just, hanging out with my sister's friends, because they were the cool older kids. But my sister, she brought me into the league quite a few years ago. And that's where I learned a lot more from her than I think I did from anybody else, on just some proper techniques and learning how to use English and stuff like that. So.
Well, for anybody who doesn't play pool or hasn't tried pool, or you haven't played in a long time, it's not easy. And I don't care who you are. I mean, I remember playing pool years ago too. And I remember Modesty running the table, and you were there when we ran the table. And it was like, that was harder. It was hard. And now I go back, and it's Modesty will put a pool cue in my hand, and it's like, I hold it like it's some type of lit cigar or something. I don't even
radioactive baby.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're shooting with this long piece of wood with this itty bitty tip at the end, and you got to shoot it at a ball to hit another ball to fit it into a 4 to 6 inch size.
That almost sounded naughty.
Are we talking about
that
pool
almost
still?
Sounded naughty. Because Dr. Domain is over here going,
Go on.
What the hell? Go on.
I mean, to be fair, and by the time Mom usually gets a pool cue in her hand, she's already had a few drinks at that point.
Hey,
she's 3 sheets to the wind, and she's talking
physics.
So much.
Okay, well,
the physics is there.
You know what? I just want to say this. I think that what you do is a great skill. And I think a lot of people, who know you would say, she's a really, really good pool player. And, you have taught a lot of people, and you do a lot of work to get those tournaments off the ground and to keep your league going. And we're very proud of you, Mo. We're very proud of what you do and who you are and what you've accomplished. So there's that.
We are. And hey, listen, on top of the tournaments and stuff, one thing we didn't talk about is she raises a hell of a lot of money for some causes out there. She holds a lot of these benefit tournaments that have raised so much money for people who need it, for families, for, accidents. I know that she actually held a pool tournament. She literally pulled it out of thin air for my son after the Perry shooting at the high school. And so many people showed up, and not only because, it was for my son, but because of my sister, they showed up.
Yeah,
she was the reason that it happened.
Yeah, there were a lot of donations, and that takes a lot of footwork. That takes a lot of time and energy, and you're trying to raise your family, hold down another job, right? And, do these things. So, yeah, very proud of you. I mean, if there's one thing you're not lazy. That's for darn sure. I mean, she's kind of a workaholic, and I don't know. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's to our own detriment, wouldn't you say, Mo? But anyway,
Absolutely.
I think that's probably all we have for today, unless there's something you wanted to add, Modesty.
If you're ever in Des Moines, stop on over to the Rack Billiard Club in Clive. Ask for me, and I will gladly give you guys a tour of our wonderful facility. We do have two other pool halls in the Des Moines area. One is a member-only club, but we do have another one that is just a little bit smaller than ours and on the other side of town. But yeah, come see
I
us.
think that's a good idea.
And yeah, it is
Yeah,
a good
next
idea.
time I'm always up to see a nice rack. That'll be good. What?
And Mo,
Sweet baby
do you have a
Jesus.
name of your league?
It's called IPPL of Des Moines,
And what does that stand for?
Iowa Pool Players League.
Okay. All right. So good to know. Look it up. And we appreciate you being here with us today. And Bobby, I think that's probably all we've got as it relates to pool. And Dr. Domain is over here still thinking about the rack. So we might want to move on. The racks, the balls, the cues, anything.
Yeah, I think that is all the insanity that we have for today. But hey, we appreciate you joining us here at the Rabbit Run Studio. Be sure to follow us on our official Facebook page or on any listening platform that you use, because we love spending time with you each week. Go over there, like us, send us a heart on any of the streaming platforms. Make a comment. We love those. If there's a topic that you want us to talk about, if you have any questions that you have for us, send us a short email at boomerandgenxer@gmail.com. And if you have any hate mail, well, I'm sure that Dr. Domain will rack that up. So until next week, I'm Bobby Joy.
And I'm Jane Burt.
And you're stuck with us.
Peace out.
Later.